How's it? Cause it's time to walaau with me, Mr. Walaau19. Join us as we meet your uncles, your aunties, your brothers, your sisters, your brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins, neighbors, grandmother, all the ohana. We'll take you to breathtaking places you've never been. Meet famous people you've never seen. Kick back and cruise, you know the ruse.
The day has to end. I'm so happy we made new friends. We'll meet tomorrow, sometime, same place. Looking forward to see your smiling face. Walaau, the day has to end. I'm so happy we made new friends. We'll meet tomorrow, sometime, same place. Looking forward to see your smiling face. Walaau, 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 walaau. Walaau, walaau.
Aloha Kauai, mahalo nui loa, and thank you for joining us this week in yet another exciting and informative episode of Walaau. I'm Tiki Chang. I hope you have an opportunity to catch this episode, let people know about this episode, because this is the story about the Kukui brand. Everybody knows Kukui brand? Well, the Kukui brand, of course, was founded years ago, taking back to 1931. I'm going to give you guys a little bit hint. Stick around, check out this segment of Walaau, and we'll figure out what family actually were the founders of Kukui brand. We're talking about the guava jams, guava jellies, the mango chutney, and all that other fun stuff. Here to tell us a little bit about the story of Kukui brand in conjunction with the opening, I should say the 10-year anniversary of Koloa Rum, is a very dear friend of ours, taking you way back when, 10 years ago, Mr. Greg Schrader.
Well, thank you, Dickie. Well, we started a while back wanting to be contributing to the community, using sugar, helping the sugar industry and finding value-added ways to use their crops. And after quite a few years, we figured out that we'd like to make rum. And rum is a derivative. We use molasses, which is a derivative of sugar cane in the process. So therefore, we've been looking around for a number of years to try to find a location, build a facility or rent one, and it was very difficult and hard to find the land and expensive. So as fate would have it, we ended up over here. We found out that the Tatahishis, which were the owners, the first developers of the Kukui brand, that there was a facility available, though it was very deteriorated, and here in Kalaheo. And some of the equipment that we found in the facility were some of the pieces that we're going to need to do rum. And so what happened is we ended up probably being the only one that it would make any sense to take over this dilapidated business and facility. And so we're very proud of the fact that we made a deal with the original owners, the Tatahishis, from Kalaheo. They started in 1931, and we took over the facility, and we've taken about a year and a half, and we've completely renovated and brought in new equipment, and well, in the process, we inherited the product line, which jams and jellies and sauces, and we ended up renovating that and reintroducing it to the market. The sales had gone down drastically, and it was basically out of business. So we took over a business that was going to go away probably within months if we hadn't come in and reestablished it. And that old business would have been gone forever from our island of Kauai. So we're very proud of that. We took it over, put a shot in the arm, put some funds into it, accumulated a number of investors, and in our quest to do rum in the future, we ended up with this jam and jelly and sauce enterprise. And so what we're doing now is we're building the product back. We're getting it back into the stores, and it's been really great. The groundswell of support from the community, it's overwhelming. We had no idea that everybody revered this product so much. And the stories that you hear on the street from people that their grandparents worked here, they picked fresh fruit and brought it in and sold it to the Tatahishis, and just the whole thing, the history behind it. And that's everything that we really wanted to accomplish. Our original plan wasn't for jam and jelly, but it was to do rum. But in the interim, this is what's happened, and we're going to build the brand back, and we've introduced some new products already, and we're very pleased that with the acceptance, and everybody knows it. Everywhere you go, knows the Kukui brand of jam and jelly. To be specific, some of the products that are our best products that are most accepted are the guava jelly, guava jam. The guava jelly we actually pick ourselves. We send the people out to the fields, which we are partner in one field. We have a 10-acre plot out in Kilauea that we actually farm and are responsible for picking and processing these guavas here right in our factory. So the guava jelly and the guava jam and the passion fruit, lilikoi, pineapple, strawberry. We have about 12 different products and syrups that we're currently doing right now. We've also, to move the company forward, we're introducing new products. One of them is our new Mai Tai mix. It's a drink mix and under the Kukui brand. And behind me, you'll see some of our new equipment. We put quite a significant investment into this facility and the equipment, all modern new equipment. Alone, the Mai Tai mix was going at under 100 cases a day. Our manufacturing capability with this new equipment that you see behind us, we can do 1,000 cases a day per shift. So we're making plans, and we're on track. We're hiring people. It's not a huge enterprise, but our momentum is growing significantly. Right now, we're growing at a rate of about 5% a month, which is in dollar volumes, that's good business. And people are putting it back into the stores. When we took over, it was all but out of business, and a lot of the stores had discontinued using it, and the supply was not regular, so that good-sized users, good-sized stores were apprehensive about using the product or including it. So we, besides taking over the company, we had to go back and reposition ourselves and reestablish our credibility. So we've made commitments to all of our customers that we will supply. We keep sufficient large finished inventory in stock where we can supply within 2 days, 3 days. So we're earning our brownie points back, if you will, and people are liking it. They like the product. We're a superior product. It's made with, it's an agricultural product, and we're an agricultural manufacturer over here, and we're bringing it back and reestablishing it here on Kauai. And people are very happy. They remember it, and it's coming back. And we're going to be adding new juices, and it will be very much associated and affiliated with our new Kaloa Rum Company, which was the reason we first got into this business, and which we'll be starting the manufacturing up in our same facility here in Kalaheo in the first week of May. We will have rum in a bottle. And it's taken, this process has taken about 8 years to date, getting through all the permitting requirements and establishing ourselves with the U.S. government. It's quite complicated to get these kind of permits, but we're the first one ever to get a distillation permit in the history of Kauai. We're very proud of it, and we thank the people that supported us to get here. And we're bringing it to Kauai, and we're very proud of that, and that's what we're here for. We're going to bring some jobs, and I want to keep as many kids here with a good job that I possibly can. Give them a little future or contribute, no matter how big or how little it is. If we just get a couple jobs or 100, it's good for our community. And proud to be here. Everybody should rest assured that we will continue to carry on with the legacy of the Tatahishi family, bringing his original recipe since 1931 to the community and to the world. And he would be very proud to know that we'll be maintaining his legacy.
Welcome back, Kauai. Let's meet the original owners of Hawaiian Kukui Fruit Specialties, the Tateishi family.
I'm Master Tateishi, and I was born right here in Kalaheo by the power plant way up in the mountain. And our home was at the end of the, if you look up at the mountain, there's a long pipeline that comes from the dam. And our house was just below the dam, and the power plant was at the end of that pipeline. And I met my husband Hiroshi at the tennis courts because every weekend they had a league and they used to go play tennis. And I used to go there. And there was one guy that my husband claims he was trying to get my attention, and he said that guy wasn't right for you. So he said he saved me from that guy. When we got married and we moved to the old factory before we moved here, we used to live, there was a home and the factory was connected to the home. And I had 6 children, and Faye was the oldest. And I used to leave the younger ones in the house, and then I used to go help at the factory. And then every so often I used to go back into the house to check on the kids. And then when they bought this property, it was a slope, it was a hill. And Hiroshi used to come up every day to make sure that they cut the mountain from the top up there to what it is now over here. And David Chang wanted the dirt to fill up the Hanapepe riverbank to build it up. So we gave them the dirt, and they paid, so we didn't have to pay anything for that. The excavation, they took care. And then finally, when they leveled it to what Hiroshi thought it was enough, they started to build a factory. So at first it was only a small warehouse, a wooden warehouse in the back, and then he added on all the rest. It was a hard life for me with 6 kids, but I guess I'm a hard worker. I enjoyed it. Well, Kukui brand was a very popular jam. And at one time, when the jam and jelly makers organized, and they had organization within the state of Hawaii, Hiroshi was the one that led this organization. And the guy from Hawaiian Sun said, "You're the only one that really knows how to make jam and jellies. So you have to tell us what is the legal amount of juice and sugar that has to be added to make the jams and jelly." At that time, the Board of Health came in and they said that jelly and jam has to be so much sugar and so much juice and all that. And I wasn't the one that was behind that. I was in production. And Hiroshi and Faye used to work in the office. So I was just back there and supervising to see that all the work was done.
My grandfather, Ryoichi Tateishi, was outdoors one day, and he just visioned this ripe papaya just fall to the ground. And he tried to think of how to preserve this papaya and not let it go to waste. And this is how it really all started. He tried making juices at first, and my dad told me a lot of times in the middle of the night he would hear these popping noises, and I guess because they hadn't pasteurized it properly, it would start fermenting and the bottle tops would start popping off like crazy. And so they went through a whole program, and my grandfather read a lot of medical journals, and he actually did produce medicines to help sick people. And he himself wasn't a well person, and he always had, digestive problems. And he would make all kinds of medicines. And my two older uncles were charged with going out to peddle these medicines. And if you think about it, people who are ill cannot go to work. They don't really have money, and so a lot of times they wouldn't get very much money for these medicines that he made, and so they had to think of another way too to bring in some income. And I think this is how the preserving started, so he could sell these jams and preserves, juices to the public outside. And he was here he was doing it for a while, and in 1954, my father and my mom got married, and shortly after that, my grandmother passed away. And then a couple months later, or a couple years later, he decided he didn't want to stay here anymore, and he had kind of put together some money, and so he took most of it with him, and he went back to Japan. And so my father and 5 of his siblings decided they were going to keep this business going, and so they had to pool all their monies together and to keep it going. And so 2 of my aunties and one of my uncles worked in the plant. It was located in Lawaai before, and his 2 older brothers went to Honolulu and they did the selling. And so it was a family effort, and it proved to go very well. The product that I'm talking about is kukui brand, and my grandfather had given that name because kukui means to give light, and he liked that. And so that's how the name got chosen. And we would produce local tropical fruit jams like guava, passion fruit, otherwise known as lilikoi, pineapples, papaya, and they were all fresh, brought in raw, and we had to process from beginning to end. And it took a lot of work, but we kept on doing it. And we also did coconut, and my dad, I remember he created this saw that would quarter the coconut, and the ladies in the back would, with a butter knife, scoop it out. And then to do the coconut jam, we'd have to peel the skins off with a potato peeler. And even the papayas, we would half it, take the seeds out with a spoon, and mash it over a wire screen to get the pulp. And pineapples, we had a cannery, so we purchased crushed pineapple in a can, in a number 10 can. But my auntie also developed a recipe for a mango chutney. It's very well known till today. And I am the oldest daughter of Hiroshi and Aster Tateishi, and my dad was the general manager here. And I remember growing up here, we would run around. It was like our whole playground here. Even down at the Lawaai area cannery, it was a real pleasure, actually. I mean, it seemed like it was a tough life, but we actually enjoyed it because we were always together. And I think that's why we still remain close together. But as time went on, actually there were 6 of us in our family. My brother was the 3rd, and we lost him to a motorcycle accident when he was 22 years old. And I guess that was kind of the deciding point, whether we keep the business or not. And my dad told us, all the girls could keep the factory running, but we kind of needed a guy here, a man, to keep the equipment running. And that was the hardest thing because my dad would do all the fixing here, and he couldn't keep on doing it, and we kind of needed somebody. And then in 1990, or just previous to that, my father had suffered a slight stroke. And so in 1990, we went out to solicit a buyer, and Sea Brewer came along, and they said, they would buy the place. So we went into negotiations, and on October 1st, 1990, it changed hands to Sea Brewer, and they asked us to stay on for a year or so, my mom, my sister, and myself. And I stayed on with them through the whole thing, and it kind of evolved. I was basically working in the office with my dad, and when Sea Brewer came over, I was still doing some of that, but they needed somebody to do product development. So then I started shifting towards creating new products too, and I guess watching my dad, and I myself enjoy creating and cooking, and so I kind of picked it up from him. And even when the third owner came on, or the second owner, that became my full-time job, just creating new products and trying to market it out. I enjoyed it for the most part, but then things weren't going that well, and so then I moved on. In August of 2008, I believe, we had a meeting with Greg Schroeder, and he had a proposal to take over this plant because it was in somewhat of a demise, and he wanted to start up a rum plant, and he was having problems trying to locate a place to do all of this. And so he came and he gave us a whole proposal, and this is when my dad was still here. And so my dad kind of encouraged him, and he also gave him a lot of background of how all of this came about, and what our history was. And so Greg, I think, kind of got excited also. And so we've had a couple meetings since then, and he was, it seems Greg is quite a warm, community-minded person. And so when he opened this plant here, or started up here, he developed a Mai Tai mix, and he had some of our jams made, and he invited the whole Kalaheo community. He sent out invitations, and he invited them to the Kalaheo Neighborhood Center, and he had a whole meetings, telling all the people what he was planning here, and if there was anything noise-wise, smell-wise, if it bothered them, to please come down and tell him, and they would try and do something about it. And not too many people would do that, and I thought it was really big of him, and I think we might just get along well here with them.
Hey, welcome back, Kauai. We're going to take a short break. Very interesting, right? Kukui brand right here on the beautiful Garden Island of Kauai on the outskirts of beautiful downtown Kalaheo. Don't go away, gang. Walaau. We'll be right back.
Aloha, my name is Joyce Vidina, and I'm the chair of the Events and Activities Committee for the Kauai Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to 2019. We have a full year ready for you. We have our tasks on that committee is to fill our chamber calendar. We are committed to presenting 10 business after hours, 4 quarterly dinners, several lunches here and there, and seminars. We are fortunate that this year our calendar is almost full with 2 more slots at the end of the year. We welcome you to join us at our business after hours or our quarterly dinners. And once again, my name is Joyce Vidina from the Events and Activities Committee with the Kauai Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
Feel the beauty of this sign up, down from the beaches to the highest mountain. Different people living as one, in harmony under the sun on the island, in the middle of the sea. On the
Puakea Golf Course. Call for your tee times today.
Na mele o ka aina.
Welcome back, Kauai. We are talking, of course, of the original Kauai Kukui brand guava jams and jellies. And the recipes date back all the way to 1931. That's right, the Tateishi family secret recipe, 1931. Now, I do want to let everybody know there is a distillery there that's actually distilling Koloa rum. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but if I'm not mistaken, the only distillery, licensed distillery here in the state of Hawaii. Kick back and cruise. Let's talk a little bit about the guava jam and the guava jelly. There at KIUC last week, who do I run into? Uncle Vernon Souza. Uncle Vernon Souza, very interesting story. And I said, hey, brother, remember that segment we did on kukui, jam, and jelly? He said, absolutely. I said, you know, brother, I'm going to re-air that segment because it's important for all of Kauai people and to visitors to know exactly what was kukui, jam, and jellies all about. Here to tell us the king of guavas, Uncle Vernon Souza.
My name is Vernon Souza, and I was born in Kilauea. And at the age of 4 or 5, we moved to Omao. And when I was about 13, 14 years old, I started picking guava for the Tateishi family and kukui brand. And in that was back in, I would say, 1950, 55, 56, someplace around there. And jobs were scarce, and we used to go out and to supplement whatever things we need. We would go out and pick guava. And I remember when I first started, and my father was making $1 an hour, and went out to pick guava the first day, and I hired my father and my brother because I didn't have age to drive yet. And we went out and picked guavas, and we all picked 4 boxes of guavas each, and so guavas at that time was $1.25 a box. So we spent about an hour or two picking up the guavas in the afternoon, and I gave my father his share of the money. And when I gave him $5, he looked at me and said, "Is this all mine?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, but we worked only like 1-2 hours." I said, "Yeah." He said, "But I got to work all day for get $8, and now I work 1 hour, 2 hours, and you give me $5." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Let's go out to pick some more guavas." I said, "No, that's all they need for the factory, And he couldn't believe that, But so guavas was something like an incentive, where the more you pick, the more you make, And at that time, the boxes were huge, but yet, we managed to help, buy the things that we need, Bread was like 20 cents a loaf, so we could buy the food we need and whatnot with by picking guavas. And only thing guavas went all year long. It's seasonal, The main crop is summertime, and you'll have an off crop in between. And every year for about 25, 30 years, I was picking guavas for the factory. Later on, the boxes got smaller, and the price went up, to $3 a box. And then I started picking down at Princeville from the Princeville Ranch. I had passed from Doc Johnson, and I used to go there, and we would pick 50 to 60 boxes on a weekend. Come here, and they would pay us cash. They would give us a receipt, but we would get cash money. And, $150 a day, that was really good money. And that's how I work construction, and when the jobs are scarce, well, we pick guavas, pick lilikoi, and do what you have to do. But I was picking for a long, long time, guavas for them. When my wife would go shopping, she wasn't allowed to buy anything but kukui brand. I didn't like the other products of guavas because it was more watery. Kukui brand was solid, tastes better and everything. And when Kilauea started growing guava, Mr. Tateishi told me that, he would have to start taking the hybrid guava. But they found that when they started processing the hybrid guava, the jam and the jelly didn't taste like the wild guava. So what you would have to do is, if they bring in 40 boxes, I would bring 40 boxes of the wild guava, and they would mix it. And then the taste and everything is totally different from the wild guava and the hybrid guava, And kukui brand was one product that it was quality stuff. When you spread the jelly on the bread or the jam on the bread, don't run all over the bread. You got to spread it out. Whereas the other breads, put it on, you just run. It's like they water it down too much or whatever. But kukui brand is a product from way back. And we would come to this factory, and every day you would come here. For 20 years, you would see the same 5 people working in there. They would hire people from around the town. And it was a family thing, and not only the Tataishi family, but the people that supply the factory was like a family. Everybody was like a family. And me and Tony Bikoski was basically the two that used to bring in the bulk of the guavas. And one thing they liked about me and Tony was, if we say we're going to bring in 50 boxes, whether it's rain, shine, thunder, lightning, the guavas will be here. And that was our way of getting supplements in life, for the things that we needed. Hiroshi Tateishi was jack of all trades. He was an electrician, he was a carpenter, he was a mechanic, he was a plumber, because he kept his factory. He wouldn't hire nobody to fix anything. He would fix everything himself. And all the things he did, a lot of things were self-taught. And a lot of equipment in this factory, you cannot find it no place in the world, because he would improvise and make something out of what he had, and to process the guava.
Welcome back, Kauai. We are talking about the history of Hawaiian fruit specialties, the Kukui brand. One of the daughters that we had an opportunity to meet was Diane Kent, and she shared her very interesting story about the Tateishi family and, of course, Kukui brand.
My name is Diane Kent, and I'm number 2 of 6 children that Hiroshi and Esther Tateishi had. And the thing I remember most about working at the factory and being part of this family is the unity. And when you work hard. When you play together. We were either all working together or all playing together at the same time. My parents always felt that when you commit to something, you need to make sure that you see it all the way through. So today, I feel so fortunate that people can rely on me, to come through on something that I make a commitment to, and I thank them very much for instilling those really core values in us as kids. My story is a little bit different because when I left to go to college, I didn't come back for 25 years. So during those 25 years, I thought about what was going on at the factory, and I did worry sometimes about my sisters who did come back and work as hard as they did for as long as we did while we were kids. But I did make my pilgrimage back at least once a year, sometimes twice. And when I had my kids, I made sure my kids came back at least once, sometimes twice a year, to get that feeling, to be in the environment of hard work and the value of a good day's work. So yeah, it was hard to be away for 25 years, but then my life changed in Hilo, and then I had the opportunity to come back, and I knew this was all written in the stars that it was time for me to come back. So in 2001 I did, and I am so grateful that I did, because I reconnected with the family and I was able to contribute all the new things that I learned in Hilo. As an adult now, I could come back and help my dad with the rentals that he has and all the community involvement that he was slowly getting older and tired of doing. So he passed all that down to my sisters and me, and we kept it going. And so for 7 years, I was able to bring myself back into the family, and very proudly bring myself back. And then in November of 2008, after 7 years of being home, my dad had a stroke. But because I was able to glean everything, all the important things from him for those 7 years that I was back, it wasn't devastating, and maybe that sounds bad, but it was a very grateful feeling for me. And he did it in the most perfect way. He had his stroke on Saturday, November 1st. and the doctor said it was a pretty bad one, and he probably wouldn't last more than a couple days. But my dad, being that strong family guy that he was, he waited. He waited until all of us kids and all of the grandkids came home from wherever they were, and as far away as Michigan. My niece came home on Friday night, and after that, on Saturday morning, is when he peacefully left. And we have all the value and all the good stuff that parents give you still with us. And this factory is one of them. It holds a very strong place in all of our memories. So just recently, and I need to say that because in 1990, when we decided that it was time to sell and we got a buyer, it's changed hands a couple times because I think maybe the new buyers realized that, you know what, this is a lot of hard work, and it really was. But I am so happy to say today that Greg Schroeder from Koloa Rum Company has decided that he is going to take this bull by the horns and make it go. So the family, at least, is very excited to see that maybe this brand is going to come back, and we're gonna wish him all the luck, and hopefully he'll find a good ohana to bring this business back to life.
We didn't argue, we didn't question why are we working so hard, why are we working sometimes 7 days a week. We just did it because of family, or because of we respect our aunties and uncles, and part of that was because we were close as cousins. We always used to do things together, go to the beach together, have picnics, have parties, and we were very close. So arguing and rebelling was not even thought of. And we learned a lot of respect.
Hi, I'm Laurie Tateishi. I'm the fifth daughter of Hiroshi and Aster Tateishi. I've worked here at the factory pretty much all my life. I went off to college and I came back here to help my mom she's a production manager. So I used to be the assistant production manager with her. And my main, job was to assist her, and I used to run the filler and the capper. So, and I guess like my cousin was saying, you always get together Saturday. So we had no weekends to play because we always had to come to work. So every Saturday we would do taro and label, and Sunday we'd have to come down, finish up, receive the raw fruits from the pickers. So, well, I'm glad that finally the roof is back on since Hurricane Iniki, because it was kind of depressing to always come and visit, and there's this big open roof, in the middle of the factory. So I'm glad that, they fix it up and, trying to bring back the Kukui brand. Because, we kind of was hearing it's going, a little bit slow, and, pretty much you hardly heard anything about it, but I'm glad he's trying to bring it back to what it could be.
Hi, I'm Irene Shimaoka. My mother is Doris, who's a sister of Hiroshi Tateishi. Grew up on Kauai, grew up working here at the factory. Our Saturdays were spent going to ukulele lessons, then coming to the factory to work. It was a great time, great place to grow up, great time to spend with the cousins. We worked hard, but we also played hard. The aunties and uncles all made sure that we got playtime in. We had baseball games, we went to the beach, we went bowling. It was just a wonderful place to grow up and enjoy our growing years. We knew there was a product that was being put out, and it was the livelihood of the family business. but never knew all the things that went into it that Auntie and Uncle did to make everything work. Buying of the supplies, actually making the product, the recipes that they use, handed down from the generations. So as far as understanding there was something that kept the livelihood of the family going, we knew that was happening, but never really understood all the things that went into it. The products that came out from the factory, we grew up with, that's all we ate. Our breakfast was toast with pineapple preserves or guava jam. Pancake syrups we had with our pancakes on Sunday mornings. That's all we knew, and we loved eating the product. Our friends came to our house for breakfast. That's what we ate. They loved it as well. It's just something we grew up with and enjoyed throughout our lives. When I went away to school, that's what I took with me to the mainland to have for breakfast. My mom would mail me the guava jam to California. It's just something that was inherent in my life.
Hi, I'm Shannon Iona and welcome to King Auto Center, your premier auto center on the island of Kauai. We are the Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Honda dealership on the island. We have many vehicles to choose from, some 2018s, some 2019s. I myself drive a Dodge Ram. I like the ride, I like its power, 4x4 capabilities, everything that you would need in a truck, in a truck. Once again, I'm Shannon Iona. Come see me here at King Auto Center. We're your lifetime friends.
Healthier is quality care close to home. Healthier is state-of-the-art facilities and the largest and best team of doctors on Kauai. It's specialty care and caring in a special way. Healthier is Kauai's only comprehensive bone and joint center with expertise in joint replacement, hands, feet, ankles, and sports medicine. Wilcox Health, creating a healthier Hawaii.
Captain Andy's sailing. Nobody has more fun. Captain Andy's, the ultimate sailing adventure.
Welcome back, Kauai. We hope that you're enjoying a part of history here on our Guardian Island of Kauai. That, of course, is a brand name known here on the island of Kauai to all the local residents as kukuis. Kukuis, jams, and jellies. Let's check out the family of the Tateishi family as they explain to you the history and growing up in the fruit business and preserving fruit here on our Guardian Island of Kauai.
You should be thinking that the Kukui brand products are going to be back on your shelves with the same original recipes, the same original love and ohana feeling that went into it from years ago. And I'm sure my dad is looking down on that sign and on the operation, smiling and thinking, this is what it's all about. Pushing it forward, making it continue for everybody to enjoy.
The family is very grateful to Greg because he's accepted to take on this rum business and also continue our legacy with Kukui brand products. And he has a really big heart, and I think he'll go a long way. And we're really happy that's why he's invited us. And although we're not owners or co-owners with him, we somehow we feel a kinship with him, and he always invites us, and it seems like he wants to be an ohana with us and wants to learn what we did in the past and kind of carry on what we've started. So the family is really happy about that because it took a long while, it's good over 60 years to build it to what it was, and hopefully it'll continue.
Well, thank you, Greg. We really appreciate the opportunity of really getting to learn about your business, learn about the business of the past, being able to meet the Tateishi family, and just sharing their enthusiasm for a product that, of course, the gentleman that you got to meet prior to his passing, Hiroshi Tateishi, I'm sure he'd be extremely happy at this time.
Well, thank you, Dickie. Thank you very, very much. And he would be. He was very pleased. We were getting to be pretty good friends towards the end. But we're going to keep his image and his dream moving forward, and we're very proud of that too. So,
prior to this infomercial coming out, I talked to a lot of people to say that we were doing a special on this Hawaiian kukui brand, and a lot of the old timers seem to be very, very lucky because it was a name item that they remember basically for decades here in Kauai.
it's really interesting, as we go out on the street and we meet people, and they're very, very pleased. A lot of people didn't think that we're still in business, and so it's up to us to let them know that we are. But the good part about it is everybody has some kind of relationship that we speak about. The man on the street, they either picked guava or lilikoi and sold it here to the Tatehishis over the years, or they worked here. It's amazing the diversity of information that we learn from just talking to the guy on the street.
And talking to the guy on the talking to the brothers and the guys on the street actually was a pretty good source of income, picking guavas and lilikoi on their spare time.
You wouldn't believe what they picked it for. If they needed money, they knew they could bring some fruit up here and get paid for. They go out with a date, buy one 6-pack of beer, whatever. But it puts a smile on your face, and it really makes us feel good that we're doing something, that we're carrying on that heritage. And so we'll just do the best we can to keep it going alive and build it and be a Kauai product.
We hear so much about a lot of large business and a lot of small businesses sadly going under, but this is a business that we're glad that you saw the vision and revived it, because this is truly a really, really big part of the history of the island of Kauai.
Well, we're finding that out more than ever, and we're very proud to be able to keep people working, and we're going to grow it. We have other products. We've already introduced our new Mai Tai mix and other fruit drinks that we're going to have, and we have several more on the drawing board right now. So our vision is to keep some people working. We want to get some of the kids working and with decent paying jobs. We want to keep them here.
Beautiful. And then why don't you leave the viewing audience with a message? Can you tell us offhand, where are some of the places perhaps that they can pick up the products here on the island of Kauai?
Some of the local partners that feature Kukui brands, jams and jellies, syrups are Luau Kalamaku, Gaylord's Restaurant, The Point at Poipu, the Hilton Hotels in Hawaii, Big Save, Kmart, Walmart, Foodland, the Wine Shop, Times, Target, Hilo Hattie's, and Long's drugstores, amongst many others. But we want to thank all our partners out there very much for their contribution and faith in our products and bringing it back to life. And I want to thank you very, very much, each and every one of you, for the support that you've given us here, re-establishing the Kukui brands, jams and jellies and syrups. And we look forward to bringing in new products to you and the community. And want to thank our buddy, the late Hiroshi Tadaishi, who was one of the patriarchs of the Kukui brand. And he told me, he said, Greg, these are the original recipes that we've established since 1931. So we will continue to bring you the original recipes and be very proud of it. And so thanks again for your help and support. And by the way, we'll be starting our destination tasting room and gallery at the Kilohana Plantation here in July, and we'll have a full showing of all of our products. Some you'll only be able to get. There'll be limited editions, and you'll be able to get them there at our tasting room. And so come and see us over there, and thank you very much for your support, and we look forward to seeing you. Aloha.
Well, I would like to thank the people of Kauai, and in fact, the whole United States and the whole Hawaii for keep buying the Kukui brand products and to keep the business going. And I'm quite sure Hiroshi would be happy to see that it won't be forgotten and it'll still keep going.
We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Greg Schroeder and his staff, and of course, the beautiful family, the Tateishi family, for showing us and allowing us to hear about the history and the story of Hawaiian fruit specialties, and of course, the Tateishi family. Now, if you have any questions, you can call them at 332-9333, 332-9333. Of course, that's Hawaiian Fruit Specialties Office. And as for Alicia, and by the way, our good friend Alicia, check this out. Now, we talked a little bit about guava, but let me show you this lilikoi plant that's going off at Bruce Albert Smalling's house. I was telling everyone Bruce had this big, huge plumeria tree, but right now the lilikoi flower is blooming. We got some fruits over there, so we're looking forward to sharing the fruits of his labor to the people of the Garden Island of Kauai. And Alicia is gonna make us some lilikoi ice cream, so let me know. We'll give you the fruits, you make us the ice cream, we can share it with the people here on our beautiful Garden Island of Kauai. Now, also remember, there at Kilohana very shortly, the Koloa Rum Company is going to be opening up, and this is where we can get the Kukui brand products, or go to many of your stores here on the Garden Island of Kauai and reacquaint yourself and refamiliarize yourself. If you're just here on the Garden Island of Kauai, buy some Kukui brand, help to support the local people here in our Garden Island of Kauai. And for myself, I had the opportunity to spread it over toast. Woo-hoo. And also, it refamiliarized me about how delicious guava tastes. Nice and tart, great bite.
Aloha, I'm Barbara Bennett, owner and publisher of the Island's monthly community magazine, For Kauai. Available at newsstands, mailed to you by request, or at the Honolulu and Lihue airports. I invite you to join our local residents and read our stories. All local, all community, all Kauai. Read For Kauai magazine on our website, forkauaionline.com, with more feature stories, videos, daily calendar, and local news that will excite and interest you. Visit us daily, weekly on the web, and monthly in print. Mahalo and aloha.
Aloha, my name is Crystal Yap here at King Auto Center. I am the Internet Sales Coordinator. If you don't have time to come into the dealership, please feel free to inquire online. I am able to answer any emails, send over quotes, get you basically approved and ready to go, so that way by the time you get into our dealership, you just test drive and sign some paperwork. Once again, my name is Crystal Yap, and I'm looking forward to serving you here at King Auto Center. Please visit us at www.kingautocenter.com.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Walaau. As always, we'd like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for watching Walaau and making us a part of your weekend and week out festivities here in our beautiful Garden Island, Kauai. Don't forget now, Walaau Spectrum Cable Channel 128 every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 7 a.m., 12 noon, 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 12 midnight, and via Facebook. Once we get it online, it'll be on Walaau Kauai, and you can check out all the episodes right here only on Walaau and YouTube. Now, you can see directly behind me if you focus in. How convenient is that? People growing up in Hawaii always like that, because many times adjacent to a lilikoi tree, or vine I should say, here's a lilikoi right over here. Adjacent to the lilikoi, guess what? The lilikoi crawls over almost everything, and you can get a bat cave, but what it's crawling over, ironically, is a guava tree. Now, I ate a yellow guava. I don't enjoy the yellow guava as much as I enjoy the half-ripe one, because this has more of a bite. So what I do is basically I kind of bite that piece off. In fact, look at the color. Nice pink in color, wild guava. More tasty, more tart, more sour, more sweet, more crisp. But you guys all know that the guava is said to have 500 times more vitamin C than an orange. But you don't want to eat too much guava. Ask the local people, hey, what happens when you eat too much guava? Just go ask somebody what happens. Anyway, it is time for us to heli on Kukui's guava jams and jellies. Try them out. I already got the feeling that I want to get the pineapple. I want to get the mango chutney. I want to get, of course, the guava. I want to get the lilikoi, the passion fruit, the lilikoi. I'm told that you can get it at the Koloa Rum outlet there at Kilohana, adjacent to Luau Kalamaku. We got the rum tasting that goes on every day beginning at 10:30, but Koloa Rum is going to be celebrating their 10-year anniversary right around the corner. So I understand there was a problem. I don't want to say problem, but there was a distribution concern. So I don't know if we got a distributor, But I went on Facebook and I said, hey, where is the Kukui Grove Jams and Jellies? Everybody says Times Supermarket. They tell me Walmart. They tell me ABC, which I'm heading over right now. Thank you, Karen and Taylor. And I'm going to go like to, I don't know, every other outlet. What did I say? Times, Longs, Walmart, ABC, or you can go to the Kaloa Rum outlet. And remember, we're going to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Kaloa Rum right around the corner. Again, try some guavas, try some lilikoi, and we'll check you guys out next week. Only. On
We all work for Koloa Rum. All of us. Wow. There we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good time.
You don't work for Colorado.
9 years, lots of sweat.
Hey, how you doing? Happy grand opening. Aloha. So she's gonna come back.
She's gonna be back for about a week.
Well, we'll tell her down you said hi.
Sure will.
All right. Yeah, good to see you too. Okay.
Brennan, stop. Sit down.
Try this one first.
Hi, Greg.
One more time.
People, it says thank you to this land, and it speaks of unfolding the finest mat made of makaloa. It speaks of sharing hospitality. It speaks of sharing warmth and friendship. It doesn't quite specifically say sharing rum, but that's part of hospitality. That's part of hospitality. So my closing chant is an Oli Mahalo, a chant that says thank you. Uhola ia ka makaloa la, Huai ke aloha la, Kukai ia ka haloa la, Pawehi mai na lehua, Mai ko oku ia ka halawa e la, Mahalo e na kua, Mahalo e na kupunala e ya, Mahalo me ke aloha la, Mahalo me ke aloha la. Mahalo ua pau. Enjoy.
Gotta leave the parade and all you guys. Greg, thank you. Into the pavilion area, please. Follow Greg. Greg, head to the pavilion.
I was thinking it was sooner than that. I was thinking it was like November.
Well, you know, these days, who knows?
Yeah.
But no, December.
It happens when it happens.
It happens when it happens.
And that's when it's supposed to happen. Always a good thing.
shredder? He's a shutter shredder. Bring him up there. Okay, bring him up. Okay. And we're going to begin our blessing on time. Well, first of all, let's give these fine and illustrious folks a round of applause. You'll hear more about them. Ron Sochi. Happy birthday the other day, Ron.
Thank you.
I'm Ron Wiley. I can't help it. We're going to begin our extraordinary evening, history-making evening, recreating history, of course, with Kumusebra Helka, and then followed by Pastor Harold Kilborn. So we'd like folks to come up really close, and I mean really close. Bruce, you might want to move your camera even closer.
Where would you like me to move it?
Wherever you can, because folks are going to come up really close.
I got you.
Now it's Sabra can very well scream and yell and get out there, but the closer, the better, and the more quiet, the better. Aloha, mahalo. No, of course you don't.
Let's pray. Father, we just thank you for such a beautiful day. We thank you for friends and family members who are here to celebrate with Greg and all that he has done. And Lord, we just want to give you praise and honor and glory that we could be here and we have our existence in you. And God, I just dedicate this place, this business, and I ask your favor will be upon it. I pray your favor upon the people that will work here. I pray that there would be a lot of aloha as people come to visit this place from near and far. I pray that there will be excitement here, Lord. I pray friendships will be developed that will last for a lifetime. Now, Father, I thank you for this celebration. And again, I just dedicate this building, this business to you. Aloha ke akua ho'onani ika makua mau ke ki meka ohaneno Ho'o mai kai pu ko ke e au ko ke la au. Mahalo no loa akua amene. The Lord bless thee, the Lord keep thee, the Lord make his face to shine upon thee, the Lord be gracious unto thee, the Lord give you his peace in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Greg, your turn.
Each and every one of you, thank you very, very much for joining us today. And this is a very special day, a very special event. And you're all a part of it in small and large pieces. So what we're going to do now is we're going to enter our pavilion over here. We're going to carry on with our... they're going to have to brief me a little better. Anyhow, we're going to actually... a handful of us are going to cut the entry lay, and we're going to walk through, and then if you would meet us in the pavilion, we're going to walk through and finish the blessing of our tasting room and our retail store. So,
here, Greg, would you please pour this into the bowl? Eya kavaila he vae ola. Here is the water of life, which our island is blessed with this water. Eya kapa'akai, here is the salt to make things strong and firm. E ulu e utini o te tua ulua e o kane me kanaloa. Ulu ka o hia lau tawaita i e. Ulua e te tini a nohu i koka. E a kawaila, e vai e ola. Alright, let's put that down on the side. And each one of you copies, we will take part of this lei and untwine it or pull it.
You folks
Here
will
we
wait
go.
right here while this is occurring.
Take
Then
it
we're
apart,
going to
yeah.
go. Oh, okay.
It right in the middle, it will untie. It will untie in the middle. Here we go. E maika ino, he vehi kapuka. And here is the plant from which this delicious Koloa rum will come. The ko, or the sugar cane, which came on the canoes nearly 1,500 years ago. There were two types of ko that were brought here, and this is one of them, the ko'ula. And we hope that this will continue to grow on our island, so we have enough for
Koloa rum, long cane.
and so we have enough for our energy.
That's right.
All right. Which door you want to go to? Which door are we going to?
I like that. Off to a bad start.
Eya kavaila he vai e wola e ola no. Please come follow me. E ulu e ulu o te.
Classic. A real Laurel and Hardy moment there.
right outside here, and then Kaiopu will close. What do you have, sir?
Rules and regulations, so we will take it to the pavilion and the rum will flow.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're all here.
Friends, your neighbors, your relatives, buy it, send it, what else?
Thank you very much. I'll make this shirt. Hey, to the
We will take it to the pavilion and the rum will flow.
Oh, okay. All right.
We're all here.
Friends, your neighbors, your relatives, buy it, send it, what else?
Thank you very much. I'll make this shirt. Hey, to the county council, the mayor, these guys have been behind us. They got us organized today and gave us this.
You can stay here, drink, eat, enjoy any old house here.
This part of the action, did you see me up on the stage?
Congratulations, Greg. Cheers.
Those guys like to have a good time. Yeah. Hey, how did they like that when I told them about the brawn? It used to be with the British Admiralty. Up until 1973, for over 400 years, they gave a ration of rum to all of the crewmen on the big boats, right? I said, let's put that back in. Koloa rum must be considered.
This event, on behalf of our Mayor, Bernard P. Cavalier Jr., the County of Kauai, and the Office of Economic Development, we'd like to extend our congratulations to Greg Schrader and his organization and the Koloa Rum Company for their hard work and their efforts in putting this company together. According to Greg, it's a 9-year endeavor, and he's just beginning his successful journey for providing a fantastic product here on the island of Kauai. a Kauai made product, another member of our growing Kauai made family, sponsored by the County of Kauai. And also, congratulations to Greg on not only starting up the Koloa Rum Company, but also reviving the Kukui brand preserve company. Again, congratulations. Thank you for contributing to our island community, providing jobs, providing great economic stimulus. So again, our heartfelt mahalo nui loa to you and your organization and many, many years of successful business.
Hey, thanks, George, very, very much. You said a lot of things that I wanted to say, but really, here we are, almost 9 years, and we've been shipping rum for about a month, and this is the beginning. We're starting it up, and it's a Kauai made product. So really, hey, I guess we should start it out thanking some of our dignitaries that are here today, as well as all the people of all walks of life that contribute to our success. And showing help and aloha that they provided for us. Bob and Sally Louise. Then we have Rita Gregory right over here. Darling lady. She actually has been here for up to 2 months at a time, working in some of the positions that we needed. Where we are, Bob, thank you very much. And Bob built our tasting room and has employed other tradespeople that overhaul its construction. So, I've been Bob Vickers. Okay, so we have other dusters that are out of town that weren't fortunate enough to be with us. But we'll say a big aloha to them and support of our local, state, and government, and we want to thank them very much. And more people contributed to this enterprise than we could have ever forecast. He's the president of Dave Robinson, and his hands have been and Irene.
This is light rum, dark rum.
Well, it's the light and the gold.
Light and gold, yeah. Orange, pineapple, and agave nectar. That's great shredders.
Is here. Can I have our fellow council members come up if you're present? Of over 9 years, and what I found out last night, ironically, is that sugar is at its all-time high as far as price is concerned after 28 years. What a concept, go figure. But nonetheless, I would like to read this, and want to thank Jeannie Tuan because we presented the certificate earlier this morning, and she already got it framed in, I guess, Koa, Maria, because she wanted it to match the tasting room, so it'll look real nice in the tasting room. But this is signed by all the county council members, so I would like to say the County of Kauai would like to hereby present this beautiful certificate to the Koloa Rum Company. Clap, 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 clap. The grand opening of their tasting room and their company store. To congratulate Koloa Rum Company on its grand opening of the tasting room and of the company store at Kilohana, and to recognize the Koloa Rum Company as the first commercial distillery on Kauai producing specialty rum. Koloa Rum Company was established to support the local agriculture and uses locally grown sugarcane to provide a unique product that would have had that has local, national, and will have international appeal. On behalf of the Kauai County Council, we welcome Koloa Rum Company and extend them our best wishes on their exciting new endeavor. And please, again, signed by all of our Kauai County Council members. So we'd like to present this to Greg and to his staff. And let's give them a big, big round of applause, everybody.
Get a good shot there, Joe. Well done. There we go. Aren't you glad I'm standing next to you.
Hold on, this is for the less serious. This is the walaau camera side.